Hello everyone, my name is Kalina and today I am going to talk about the topic teams and productivity. To get started, to review what we have talked about in class, I wanted to go over the Daniel Pink video. Briefly, the Daniel Pink video started off with the candle problem. He showed this picture and the end goal was to tack the candle to the wall so it wouldn't drip or the candle wax wouldn't drip on the table. So what he did was bring people in and have them test this theory and see how they would tack the candle to the wall. Now he eventually shows us the solution, which is this. The solution is to actually empty out that tack box that the tacks were in, tack it to the wall, and then put the candle that was lit in the tack box. Thus, the candle wax won't get on the table. Now, this was working very fine, and so he wanted to kind of do some more research within this problem. So he brought in two teams. One team, he was like, I show you this problem, create it. I am going to base it off on your productivity, your creativity, how well you work as a team, and overall your end results, if you can figure out the solution. And then he brings in another team and he motivates them by saying, I am going to rate you guys on how fast you can do this. And if you guys can complete it faster than the other team, then I will grant you $20 at the end. Thus, creating a reward or something that you are looking forward to if you get this job done completed quickly. Well, the end result was that the team that was given the reward at the end did significantly worse than the team that was not rewarded at all. This is due to the team that was rewarded with money having a narrow mind and lack of creativity. They had a closed mind and they were focused more on the ending of like getting it done and receiving the reward rather than how efficient it would be and letting creativeness come in. And then the other team, they had an open mind and a creative mind, and so that's why they were able to do it more quickly and they weren't pressured by doing well and getting the money at the end. So he wanted to pursue this idea even further, and so he did the exact same thing and he showed them this picture instead. This picture just shows that the tax and the tack box are separated and clearly stating that the tack box can be used as a prop. Brings one team in and motivates them by saying, I'm going to give you a reward if you can do this quickly or faster than the other team of $20. He then shows the other team and explains to them that I will rate you guys off of how well you do this, if you come up with a solution, how well you work together, the same criteria. Now it kind of flip flops. It does flip flop, and the team that was rewarded with the money in the end does significantly better than the team that wasn't rewarded at all. This is because this problem is not requiring as of creative mindset. It's needing more of a narrow mind focus. It's very straight, very to the point, and it just needs to be done quickly and it needs to be solved. That's why this worked. Um, and with my past work experiences, I've had tons of people, managers, try to reward us by having a reward at the end of, oh, if you do this and if you do that, I can get you a gift card. I can get you a t shirt. I can get you this, this, and this. And the people that it ended up going to or winning the prize at the end, the reward, was the people that were already good at their job and were just doing better than the people, like than the employees around them. This is because they are already doing it. They are doing the same thing. They're not changing. Personally, in the past, when a manager is presented a motivation task like this, I ignore it. I just keep on doing what I'm doing, and because usually the prizes aren't that great, anyways. But it doesn't motivate me very overall in the end, or with my other employees, and it's kind of useless. But yet we use this task every day, and it's still a very present and reoccurring task that or way to motivate people that are they doing today in the workplace. So Daniel then uses this research to create autonomy, purpose, and mastery. We're going to focus on mastery. Now, he explains that mastery is the desire to continually improve at something that matters. So he says, in quotes, a key implication for managers is to set tasks that are neither too easy or challenging for their employees. He calls this the Goldilocks task, meaning that you are sharpening your employees' abilities and strengths and weaknesses by getting them out of their comfort zone just a little bit without it being too intimidating, overpowering, or too much. It's not like just throwing them in the water and hoping that they don't drown. It's kind of like holding their hand a little bit, but in the end, you're going to see a lot of progress. This then got me thinking that, well, mastery is just using the abilities of your team to the best of their abilities, meaning if someone is really good at public speaking, you're going to use their ability a lot. If not, then you're just wasting someone's skill on your team. You're not using your team's full ability. So this got me thinking even more. In week 3, we had a discussion about time theft, or I talked about time theft. And I was guilty of time theft this summer. Fortunately, I was a part of a job that wasn't pushing or challenging or using my skills or abilities to the best advantage. I was using a job or doing a job that was the same every single day. It wasn't, I didn't need to do anything else. It was just, I was brain dead by the end of my day because I didn't need to really think that much. I just did the same thing I did, and it wasn't challenging me. And so I got very bored and I did what I needed to do, but I could have been so much more productive. If I think back to it, I didn't use the best of my abilities, and so I ended up lacking in being productive and motivated, and tasks took me a lot longer. So then I did some research about my week 3 time theft, and basically what I researched was, why aren't people motivated? Why are people or employees not motivated when at the workplace, when they're going to work? And it all says the same thing. A quote from Miller: not given responsibility that showcases their abilities, meaning people aren't being motivated because they're not given responsibilities or tasks that show their abilities, that are working on their abilities or sharpening their abilities. From Michael Page, UK, no development opportunities, meaning these jobs or tasks are basically just flatline, they're just staying the same. There's no area for them to grow. It's like when I did my job this summer, it was the same thing every day, not challenging me. I wasn't growing at all, besides like the first week after training. After that, it just stayed the same. From Andorites, 2019, treating everyone just the same, meaning that a team member or a manager or someone with higher authority within the team was treating everyone's skills the same, looking at all their employees with different skills and different strengths and weaknesses as the same thing. So you're not recognizing anyone is better at this, not as good at this, better at that, not good as that. So it just overall, people feel like they're the same as the next guy and they're not able to get motivated because they're like, oh, the other guy can just do that. And then the article, why your employees are losing motivation, just simply said not providing recognition. So this means, like, example, Sally's really good at presenting and she did a great presentation. And you don't recognize that. You just keep on going instead of saying, like, hey, Sally, that was a great presentation you gave. It doesn't motivate her. It doesn't make her realize that she's good at that. So overall, within these articles, it just basically states that it goes back to Daniel Pink's thing on mastery. We're not recognizing our team members' abilities, their strengths, and their weaknesses, and not using them to their full potential. So I then kind of broke it down into 4 tips that we could use this knowledge with. Tip number 1, so figuring out your employee's strengths and weaknesses. You can't use this ability this tip until you find out what your employee's strengths and weaknesses are. So break it down, analyze it, and then you can start seeing, oh, Sally's good at this, Bill is good at that, Bob needs work at that, and Patricia needs work on that. you're going to figure it out. You're also going to know your employees better, and you're going to be able to go into tip number 2. Create and develop tasks according to your employees' strengths and weaknesses. So then once you figure out, oh, Sally's really good at this, use that. Allow her to use that strength and use it to the team. Don't just take that strength of, customer service and just throw it back there, let it, use it to the best ability, let it enhance the team. And then also if like someone's not good at something, slowly give them those Goldilocks tasks that Daniel was talking about, Daniel Pink, to sharpen that up. So if someone's not good at presenting, slowly get them presenting jobs that are small, and then they get bigger and bigger until they are a master at presenting. Tip number 3, after analyzing your team, then figure out what you're missing from your employees. This is a great tip because after you're analyzing your team, you can figure out like what you're lacking in your employees. There's always going to be a hole or a gap in your employees and your team. And I'm not saying you need to hire someone to fill in this gap. It's more of, oh, we are all lacking on customer service. So let's train and sharpen our tools to work on our customer service. It's just a nice little tip to see what your overall team needs to work on. And then finally, enjoy the new motivation and productivity within your workplace. Overall, by analyzing your guys' team strengths and weaknesses, you can challenge your employees, and then they're going to feel more motivated, and in the long run, they're going to have more productivity. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation, and here are my sources. Thank you.